Hey guys, in this video I have this puzzle cube sent to me for review. It's very similar to a Rubik's Cube, however, unlike a 3x3 cube, this one actually is Bluetooth capable with sensors built in. When used with an app on your phone, it becomes smart. The app isn't available on Google Play and it looks like it's only for Android on Xiaomi's own app store where you have to download the APK. This puzzle cube feels very nice. It's clicky and it comes pre-lubricated. I haven't added my own lube yet, but out of the package it feels pretty good. It definitely feels a lot nicer than a real Rubik's Cube. If you've ever used one of them, they're kind of hard to turn and everything. And now I'm just going to show you how to take it apart and change the battery. So like most Rubik's Cubes, what you want to do is basically turn the top part at an angle, and then you remove the center edge piece, and then you start taking the corner pieces off one by one, and there you can see right away the core of the Rubik's Cube, and that's where the battery is. So I'm gonna quickly remove some of these other pieces here and show you how to take it apart to change the battery. So you'll see right there there's a screw, and this is where the battery lives, and this is what powers the Bluetooth functionality of this cube. So I'm just gonna go grab a small screwdriver and then I'll be right back and show you how to remove it. The screw is pretty small. I'd say it's like the screws you'd find on like a pair of glasses. And I have this really small Phillips screwdriver here that I'm just going to remove with. And be careful not to strip it because really it's just plastic. And it's kind of hard to see looking through the camera, but there it is. That is the battery that is powering this Bluetooth Rubik's Cube. And to get it out, you can either get some tweezers, and what I did was just basically tap it out. So I'll show you a close-up of it with a picture, but it's a Panasonic CR1632 3-volt battery. It just sits in there, and that is what powers it. So to put it back together, essentially you put the battery back in, and then you put the screw back in, and here you'll see that I am also putting all the cubes back in. Make sure you have the colors lined up. And usually what I do is I'll start with a corner piece, an edge piece, a corner piece again, and then another edge piece, and so forth until you get the cube back to the way it was. So, usually it's not that hard, and this is typically the way you would do it on most cubes anyways. And if you don't know how to solve a cube and it's scrambled, most people will take it completely apart and then put it back together solved. And that's how it was done if you don't know how to solve the cube. The instructions that it comes with are pretty limited and then all in Chinese, but if you scan the QR code on the little pamphlet, it'll bring you to a website that will allow you to download the actual app to use with the cube. And of course the website is all in Chinese as well. And you just have to click that little green button on the bottom there, and then it will allow you to download it. And you'll be downloading an APK file. Just go OK. And then what you need to do next is to install it. I also had to give it permission to install from other sources. Click OK, and that should be it. The application is about 50 megabytes, I believe, so it's not that big. And it will ask you if you can access certain features on your phone. And this is the Mi Smart Magic Cube app. It takes a little while to load it up. And from then on, it will ask you if you have a Mi account. So if you don't have a Mi account, sign up, and then you should be able to log into the app. Make sure you also check off that box there. So I've already signed in, and the very first thing you want to do is just turn the cube. This will turn it on, and it will also show you that that it found it. Click on it, and now the cube is paired up with the app. And from this point on, you can use the application. Choosing the very first option, solver, this application will essentially guide you through the steps of solving the Rubik's Cube. So the very first thing you want to do is to orientate or line up the cube so it matches what you're seeing on the app itself. So orientate it in a way where yellow is facing the left and red is facing the right and white is up. And then once you do that, just hit play, and it will essentially guide you through it. Just follow the app and turn whenever it shows you. If you do mess up, don't worry, because it will actually correct itself and show you how to move from that point on. So you don't actually have to correct what you just did. Just follow the actual turns and steps, because it is smart enough to figure out, hey, you made the wrong turn, so I'm just going to recalculate and show you how to get there. So the app is actually very smart in terms of showing you that. And typically you will be able to solve a cube in less than 30 moves. And yeah, this is a really easy way, especially if you don't know how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Other than showing you how to solve the cube for you, it does have two other modes, and one of them is tutorial. And with this mode, it will actually guide you through the steps of solving the Rubik's Cube and teaching you, how to do it. Basically, the beginner method, where you do the white cross, the corners, the edges, etc. So after a while, you won't need to rely on the application to solve it anymore. And essentially, this is the method that I learned a long time ago. And so yeah, you have to go through all these steps. It's a tutorial that will show you how to solve the cube. So that's really good, especially if you want to actually know how to do it. And once you can solve the cube, you can use the timing function. And with this, you can see that, you can mix up the cube. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is quickly mix up the cube. And at the same time, you can see that it knows where, every cube is at any given time once you turn it. So once I'm done mixing it up, then what you can do is you can start using the application now as a timer. Hit the ready button, the timer will start the very first turn. So here I'm going to try to solve the Rubik's Cube using my own brain, and I'm doing this through the the camera screen, so it's not going to be the fastest because it's kind of awkward, but I'll try to do this. Essentially what I'm doing is like the white cross method, where you do like there's the white cross, and then we're going to do the corner pieces, and I think I'm going to take like a minute and a half or something like to solve the cube. In my earlier days when I was really into this thing, I think my the fastest time was like 30 seconds, but I'm not really into solving cubes anymore, and I've forgotten a lot of the algorithms with F2L and the OLL and PLLs and stuff. So I'm just basically doing this from memory, muscle memory. And I do know a little of the algorithms still, so that helps me solve it. But that's the amazing thing about, doing the Rubik's Cube, is like, even after years of like not playing with one, for some reason my fingers just know what to do to solve it. Once you learn the beginner method of the Rubik's Cube, there's other methods like first two layers. You need to know OLLs, PLLs, and the more algorithms you know, the faster you can solve the cube. And I think the world record for solving a cube was like 4 or 5 seconds or something crazy like that. But being able to do it at all, I think, is amazing enough. So using this app, in the beginning, you may not be able to solve it and you may need to rely on it. But at the same time, it will show you through tutorials how to solve it yourself using simple methods like the beginner method. So one last feature that this smart cube has is a function in which it integrates with the Mi Home app. Now with this, you can control other devices with this puzzle cube, right? So it's kind of a weird mashup, and I don't really see myself using it. You can basically use it to control your lights, like turning the cube to change colors on your smart bulb and stuff like that. Just very gimmicky, and I don't see any practical applications for me personally. So the Xiaomi Smart Magic Cube is pretty cool, especially if you don't know how to solve a regular 3x3x3 puzzle cube. Since I already know how to solve it, it's more of a novelty for me, but it's definitely neat nonetheless. Anyway, if you're interested in picking one up, I'll have links in the description. Have a happy new year, and I will see you in the next video.